Joining us now is Ejeta Otuonio, a lawyer and an African affairs analyst, to speak on today's Independence Day. Thank you for joining us on the program, and a happy Independence Day to you, sir.
Happy Independence celebrations to you and the entire channel family.
Thank you. So 59 years on, how would you say Nigeria has fared?
Well, to tell you the truth, Nigeria has not fared too well in the past 59 years. So far away from the dreams that the founding fathers of Nigeria had in 1960, when Britain granted Nigeria independence. I do not think that the dysfunctional state the country has so much to be joyful about. I think we still have quite a lot to cover, quite a lot of ground to cover in terms of nationhood.
Yeah, as you said, during President Muhammadu Buhari's speech, he called for, a broad-based fight against corruption. This has been one of his administration's mantra. Would you say we are winning the fight?
Well, when President Buhari came into power about 5 years ago, it was his main plan. He thought that Nigeria had a structure that was corruption-ridden. And because of his known pattern life or his touted pattern life, Nigerians gave him the opportunity to walk the talk. But it will appear that the administration has become overwhelmed because the structural imbalances in the system made the fight against corruption a near impossibility. Structural imbalance because Nigeria is skewed in a manner that partisanship and so many other factors militate against the wholesale fight against corruption. And that's the major problem that we're experiencing as a nation.
Mm. And of course, he also spoke on a whole lot of other issues. In your opinion, what can we do to improve the sector between now and the next anniversary, 60 years?
I think where we are calls for a lot of introspection if we really want to make an impact in the next 365 days, if you like. We need to sit down and agree that we want to have a nation that we can call ours. Currently, the cacophony of voices of self-determination going all around, coupled with the high level of poverty, the banditry, criminality that has pervaded the land, makes it impossible for anybody to want to think of a nation as it were. So we must agree that we want to build a nation, and this must come from the top. The federal government must agree that the federating units will come together and agree that this nation must rise above those zones that it has found itself. If we agree on that, we will not be able to find our feet towards nationhood. And that is a big calamity, if you ask me.
All right, then, Mr. Ejeta Otuonio, lawyer and African affairs analyst, thank you for speaking to us on Network Africa, and a happy Independence Day to you once again. Away from Nigeria, the Burundian government says it is to start repatriating refugees from neighboring Tanzania on Thursday. A government official said about 1,000 people were in the first group, and he said the process was voluntary. More than 200,000 refugees from Burundi have lived in Tanzania since fleeing a political crisis in 2015, which was triggered by President Pierre Nkurunziza's decision to run for a controversial third term. Today is the deadline the Tanzanian government had set for all of them to leave the country. Now, rights body Amnesty International says its investigation has found that a U.S. airstrike in Somalia in March killed civilians and not militants, as the U.S. African Command alleged at the time. It says the U.S. failed to investigate claims that the 3 victims were farmers and had no ties with Islamist militant group Al-Shabaab. Amnesty says the 3 men were returning from their farms to their homes in Mogadishu and Lego and Yak Bariwayne in Lower Shabelle when their car was targeted. U.S. airstrikes in Somalia surged in April 2017 after President Donald Trump declared the south of the country an area of active hostilities. The rate of airstrikes rose sharply in 2019. On Monday, Al-Shabaab militants attacked a military base where U.S. soldiers trained commandos in Somalia. Now, local media in Zimbabwe report that the ruling ZANU-PF party will transfer ownership of the palatial home in which the late President Robert Mugabe lived in the capital, Harare, to his family. The clarification by ZANU-PF Secretary for Administration, Obert Mpofu, followed speculation that the party intended to turn Mugabe's Blue Roof mansion into a museum and to derive an income from it. Mr. Mpofu says the party would also transfer ownership of a second home occupied by Bona Mugabe Chikore, the daughter of Mugabe, and his widow Grace, to the family, as nothing has changed on the party's commitment to transfer the 2 properties. Mugabe family spokesman Leo Mugabe had recently confirmed that the former president, who ruled Zimbabwe for 37 years until he was ousted in 2017, did not own either the Blue Roof mansion or the Mount Pleasant house. Still to come on the program. It's the penultimate day of the Royal Africa Tour, and the Duchess of Sussex is calling for more support for women in higher education in South Africa. That's in a moment. Please stay with us.